is intended for mature audiences. The views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Sky's the limit, baby.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
We don't fight for rings and stuff like that. I don't fear anyone.
En este deporte no se viene a jugar y no le tengo miedo a nadie.
We don't come to play in this sport. I fear no one in this sport.
Does that mean that you will fight Triple G later this year?
Como lo dije en la pelea pasada, ahorita mismo me vuelvo a poner los guantes.
As I said in the last fight, right now I'll put on the gloves again.
¡Viva México!
Canelo wants to unify all the titles.
When did you realize, Andy, that you could take his power?
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me. So, talking about the Mexican style, I just proved it.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game to see the boxing voice.
Good morning, TBV, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another glorious morning edition. It is Tuesday, and we are back. Fighter arrival, Deontay Wilder, Luis Ortiz to the pay-per-view on Fox, going down Saturday. But before we can talk about that, we must discuss the 29-year-old multiple division champion, multiple title holder, WBC, Ring Magazines, WBAs, IBFs, every single sanctioning body known to man, Canelo Alvarez has captured. But his legacy may be in jeopardy. His accomplishment on November 2nd is in question. Fight fans were already assuming that Kovalev took a dive. Now we get Kovalev coming out with some very, very interesting, alarming messages to the boxing public. We'll give you all the details about it, but basically, Sergey Kovalev is saying that he knew this fight was impossible to win. So the question on everybody's minds is, did he take a dive? Did he take a dive, or is just media? Is this just the media out here begging for clicks, begging for hits, wishing that this title, this lie, brings them some sort of financial gain? I think that once we discuss Kovalev's message, I think it'll still be pretty clear that there was no dive in this particular fight. Some shrewd business tactics? Absolutely. Dive? I just don't know. But this is what we're going to be talking about. If you're interested to give us your take on this, you want to let us know how you feel, you think it was a dive, you think the fix was in, we'll call in and voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time. Voice your opinion on the Voice of the People hotline.
Call me Mr. Chimney. I want smoke.
Let's go out to Indiana. Gross the boss.
I speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it. I can't say it enough. I speak it, believe it.
2 attempts, handed bands over. Sicko hit, shot and missed. 2 to stand over. Breadwinner, huh? Look who in the building. Let me check my Instagram. I might be at 1 million.
ThaBoxingvoice.com.
Yo. Good morning to everybody out there in the TBP universe. Back with another one, and Sergey Kovalev made the headline yesterday. I seen Bob Arum have his comments on it, and I seen Kovalev in a car and said that maybe the quick turnaround wasn't that good for him, man. The tough fight and the quick turnaround really had him tired, had him drained, and like this, you know what I'm saying? I do not think it was a dive or anything like that, but I'm interested to hear these guys come on and say it was a dive and how so. But that's what we'll be talking about, breaking down and getting into what's going on. Ness, good morning to you.
What up, man? Good morning, bro. I ain't even want to do this subject, but I knew we had to do this subject. First, I wanted to wait. I'm going to be clear. And honest, I wanted to wait to get an official translation of this Russian video that Kovalev himself has done. I'm going to be clear and honest that all I was able to do was go to the Russian website, copy and paste the Russian text, put it in Google Translate, and bring you the information that I'm giving you. That is their translation of the video. I don't know if they lying. I don't know if they translated it the way they want it to be perceived. I'm just going off of the text that Google translates for me based off this boxingguru.ru website. And, you know, there's not much that we can do. We have to report on it. We don't claim to be journalists. We're podcasters. This is a subject. We're a morning talk show about boxing. This is boxing. Whether it's true or not, I don't know. What we will do and can do is assess the information and make our own educated guess and give our opinion. And my opinion is I'll hold off until I actually give you the quotes, because I do want to at least give you whatever quote-unquote facts there are. Again, this was a video that Kovalev did on his social media. It's completely in Russian, and you really need to use Google Translate to translate. Now, I know we have a Russian listener. I wish he could call in today and let us know that this was official tissue on the translation, but let's go ahead and give you the text. Russian boxer Sergey Kovalev recorded a video in which he said that he did not believe his victory over the Mexican Saul Alvarez was legit, right? Kovalev said that in the condition he was placed in, weight category, and preparation time, this victory was not possible. Now, Mike, I know throughout the entire buildup, Mike continued to believe that Canelo had some sort of a rehydration clause on Kovalev. Come weigh-in night, you know, that secret, that cat was out the bag. You know, more and more headlines surfaced that there was a rehydration clause, and now we have Kovalev coming out and saying the weight category. Now, that's not very specific, and it could fall under poor translation. Remember, this video was in Russian. So I'm assuming weight category means that weight rehydration clause. And then he goes on to say preparation time. So I'm assuming the preparation time, he meant there wasn't enough preparation time between his yard fight and his Canelo Alvarez fight. So I think that the most educated answer here is the fight conditions were not suitable. The bottom line is, I don't believe there was a fix or a dive. I believe that as an A side, Canelo requested some concessions that Kovalev and his greed, and I'll use the word greed purposely so that you can see what this man thinks of us as boxing fans. Now, this isn't the first time that he's flipped us off and given us the metaphorical middle finger, but this isn't the first time that he's given us excuses after a loss. When has he admitted to losing? Which fight did he say he lost? He has an excuse for every loss. He has a reason for every loss. And yes, there are concessions that Canelo asks for. That's up to you to accept them. I could get offered a job at ESPN, and it might come with some restrictions. They might say you can never do this podcast again. If you do it, it has to be on ESPN, on our network. It has to be under our umbrella, and we own the rights to it. So when you leave, we keep it. I can choose to say yes. Then 5 years from now, when I leave them, you're like, yo, where's all your archives? Well, I don't have any because I don't own the rights to them, because that was the deal I chose to sign. Kovalev chose to take this deal. No one asked him to get in here and fight Canelo Alvarez with short notice. No one asked him to take the fight with Yard. So now all of a sudden we're going to give him a pass and say, yo, he wasn't ready. He didn't have time because of him choosing to fight Yard. Weren't they offering Yard step-aside money? He took the fight with Yard. He prolonged negotiations. And then by taking the fight with Yard, he made his training camp for the fight with Kovalev, his only super fight in his entire career, more difficult. And that's our fault somehow. So let me just give you a little more of what this man said. Approaching this fight, I was so exhausted by the 3 preparations for battle that were earlier that's for this fight. I did not even have the strength to beat strong blows with my right hand. Again, the translation is poor because it's Google Translate on a Russian fucking translation. But he's basically telling us, he didn't have the time. He didn't have the time to recover. He didn't have the time to train. And he's using it, in my opinion, as his scapegoat, his excuse. But it gets better. It gets better. I'm going to have to translate. I thought I had all the text already translated. I might have it on this computer. Hold on. Oh, yes, I do. Check this out. This guy, he's a piece of work. Professional sport is work. I am not in the sport for medals and awards. I am in the sport for the sake of earning. That's a poor Russian sound effect, right? Like accent. It would be foolish for me to refuse such a financially advantageous offer. Of course I accepted it. And people who believe in my victory are ignoramuses in this sport. Those who made a bet on me and put money on me. Your greed is a bad joke with you, and these are your problems. For me, this fight was interesting only from a financial point of view, said Kovalev. So basically, my man is hot. He got his fans on his social media calling him a ducker, calling him a dive taker, and he's like, look, don't be mad at me because you bet on me. I ain't tell you to bet on me, stupid. This fight was a good fight for me to make some money. I knew I wasn't going to win. That's what he's saying. That's what he's saying. He's not saying I took a dive. The way that, I'm calling the media, but the way that these bottom feeders are jumping on this video and trying to come up with a sexy enough headlines to draw in viewers. The man never said he took a dive. The man just said this was the biggest financial opportunity of his career, and he was not going to say no, regardless of the conditions. That's all. Now, to me, this is a sore loser. This is a sore loser who comes back out after taking the deal and making excuses now. Now saying, yo, well, I had this and this and this, so I couldn't do X, Y, Z. Okay. But last I checked, you weren't the first person with a rehydration clause. You weren't the first person to be asked for some sort of concessions in a fight. So, it is what it is. That's how I'm looking at it. A dive, that's a very strong accusation that requires some true facts. You know, that's not it. I could fight on Border Wars. For instance, CYP called me out, right? So I could take the fight and then turn around and lose and say, well, he said he was gifted. He said he had hands and Wilder even knew. So like I'm making an excuse. I'm making an excuse afterwards. I'm giving you reasons why I lost and why I was contemplating losing before I took the fucking fight. So, I mean, I'm not giving Kovalev I'm not shooting him no bail for this. I'm not on his side. This is just another excuse. He had the same type of excuse with Ward. He had the same type of excuse with Alvarez. He never loses because of his own doing. He only loses because of other people. That's how I'm looking at it. Mike, I know you lost a lot, but you could just give us your thoughts.
First off, I think Kovalev lost made that money and was enticed by the money, and for him to come out and say that I know I was tired or it was too soon, back to back and all those kind of things, I just think that he's making excuses. Like you said, we've seen it in the war fight. We've seen it. Did we see it with Alvarez, or he was a little bit more friendly in that second time around? But yeah, you can't come out and say I was tired because I had just fought. Training camps back to back wasn't good for me, and all those kind of things. When you knew what you were getting into, you knew before the war fight that the Canelo fight was a sure possibility. And Buddy McGirt thought that you not having that time off would have been good for you, but you're just making excuses. And I really don't understand Kovalev. I don't know why we are giving this like any kind of validity. I just don't understand. Like, this guy has been making excuses over and over and over again. And anytime he loses, man, you can pretty much expect it. He got his payday. He got his money. Now you want to come out and say, oh, Canelo picked me off at the right time. I guess, like Ned said, man, when it comes to business and like doing business things, it was a good business move from Canelo. Smart, strategic move from Canelo and his team. And Kovalev just got to deal with the consequences, man. Like, I don't understand how you can get on, I guess, your IG and go on a rant in Russian, which you know we don't fucking understand, and expect us to have like some kind of sympathy for you or anything like that. If everybody's saying that this man took a dive, I think Bob Arum probably explained it best. Like, there's easier ways to take a dive. You don't take a dive by getting hit smack dab in the fucking face with the right hand and looking like you're about to be decapitated over there on the rope. So I definitely don't think
exactly
he took a dive.
My man could have went out in the corner. You know what I'm saying? He could have went out in the corner like, yo, wave it off. I'm done. Man, it's so many ways, bro. Like, you gonna tell me my man want to actually get knocked out to fake that he got knocked out? Bruh, the hate is real. And that's why the thumbnail is real. That's what's real. You know what I mean? The thumbnail, the achievements, the accolades of a 29-year-old. WBA super welterweight, WBO super welterweight, WBA middleweight, WBA regular super middleweight, WBA light heavyweight, IBF middleweight, WBC super welterweight, ring super welterweight, WBC middleweight 2 times, ring middleweight 2 times. 29, man. 29. Just name another motherfucker. Not even Floyd, I don't think. Not even Floyd at that age with this many belts and accolades. Not even. So stop it, man. The hate is real. And you know, I see them. Oh, he could do no wrong. He could do no wrong. Bruh, you the A side. You the A side. What so Maidana took a dive. Maidana took a dive, Mike. He took a dive because he ain't fight with the gloves that he knew he was best at, the gloves that he liked knocking people out with, and he took $1.5 million and didn't tell us before the fight. It ain't come out until reporters uncovered it, Mike. He took a dive. Is that how it works? Is that how it works now? Come on, man. Everybody taking dives then. Sean Porter took a dive. He took a dive. The powers that be told Sean he couldn't beat Earl. He took a dive. That's why he fell in that round. You know what I mean? He knew it was tight. He had to go down. He took a dive. The fuck out of here. Bunch of clown asses. Make no sense.
What I would say is I always been known saying a proponent of people going in the fight healthy, and maybe Kovalev wasn't at his peak performance, but even still, you agreed to the shit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like Canelo popped the fucking rehabilitation clause on you on the last week. That was negotiated like months before. So if you agreed to it and you can make it to the ring that night, then you got to deal with the consequences. I mean, we all knew that it was going to be a tough uphill battle coming out that tough fight with Yard.
Mike, why are we making excuses for him?
I'm not making.
I'm not saying you making excuses. I'm saying we as a boxing community, because you tell me the last time that a dude moved up 2 weight classes and he was the favorite. You tell me the last time a dude moved up 2 weight classes and people thought he was going to win. Not just his fucking fan base. People thought. The minute this shit was announced, I told you what the fuck it was. Now all of a sudden he took a dive? Bruh, anybody that knows boxing seen the vulnerabilities in Kovalev. He was a cherry waiting to be popped. Now he took a dive because Canelo did it. Let me ask you something, Mike. Does Yard have the ability in this generation to finish his career with the amount of accolades as Canelo Alvarez and achievements as Canelo Alvarez and legit fights as Canelo Alvarez?
I would say no, because he started at 175. There's no really way for him to go, but size.
All right then. So why is Canelo need to take a dive if we seen a dude that ain't never gonna achieve what he achieved? A dude that ain't got half the experience, half the elite level fights. We seen him almost do it. Canelo needs to pay Kovalev to fake it, to do it. Man, you motherfuckers smoking the utmost best kush I've ever heard of. It's crazy. It's crazy what they out here thinking. Like, Elderly Alvarez came out of nowhere. My man paid step aside money like 7 fucking times to Adonis Stevenson. And just like Anthony Yard, he said, hold up. I'll fight that motherfucker though. Hey, listen, Yvonne Michelle, keep giving Adonis step aside. We gonna wait for the right timing is everything. Tundi Ajayi. Yeah, we'll take that Kovalev fight, Elderly Alvarez. We like that. Yeah, we like that. Let's get it. And they got it. Ajayi said the same thing. No, we don't want Buatsi. No, we don't want. What's his name? Hosea, whatever fuck his name is. Jose Burton.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is. We don't want him. We'll take that old motherfucker though. But none of them dudes took a dive. None of them dudes paid to get a dive, right? No, they ain't had the fucking Canelo skill, man. But it's like I said, is media making sexy headlines? Because I'm getting agitated as if this is anything more than boxing haters. This ain't even true boxing fans. This haters. You telling me y'all had my man out in the 8th round. Everybody mad at Ajayi for saying, empty it in the 8th. Dump it in the 8th. Now this is a dive. Man, I'm done, bro. Whatever. I'm not even interested.
Yeah, man, I totally don't believe that it was a dive or anything like that, but I think Kovalev won that fight not 1,000% or not 100%. But at the end of the day, man, you know what you sign up for. And for him to come out and make another excuses is just left with a bad taste in my mouth. I really didn't even give a fuck about it. When I seen the headlines yesterday on Twitter, I'm just like, yeah, that sounds like Kovalev, man. It sounds like something he will do and has been doing for anytime he gets lost. So I think Kovalev got a couple more fights, and then hopefully, man, he can retire and spend some of that Canelo money.
Hey man, I'm double. This is the real T Street. Shout out to T Street in the live stream, man. At least he feel like I feel. I'm assuming he do because he said I want that Kush. You know what I'm saying? And if they smoking the Kush that got them believing this was a dive, and he say he wanted, then he must be. You know, he want to be as high and dumb as is what he's saying. So I think he agree with me, man. Shout out to you. I watched like 2 of your videos yesterday on Fred. I can't believe y'all beefing, man. But you definitely educated me on the situation, man. My listeners was asking.
Always going at it.
No, they always. I know they always going at it. But I mean, he did a real elaborate and detailed video, bro. Like that shit is 2-part series, bro. It was entertaining though. I watched that shit yesterday.
Nigga T Street got a lot of little documentaries on Fred on his channel.
Yeah, they be going in. But listen, man, I just can't see this as a dive. My man is too skilled. He's too talented. Like, you know what it is? People are upset that some of these decisions. Like, I was a big Laura fan. I was just as mad as you guys when he didn't get that decision. But since then, what has Canelo done and what has Laura done? You know, just like. What's another tight fight that they think, oh, he should have won that. He should have lost that, Mike?
It's Austin Trout.
Austin Trout. Since then, what's Trout done and what's Canelo done? What is it? Are you going to tell me that it took something from them morally, from their soul, emotionally, and that's why they haven't been able to perform better because they were robbed? Because I will accept that. I will accept that. Like the same way we accepting Jamel Charlo and his emotions after being, claimed the loser when he thought he won. So I will accept that. But you got to give me a reason. Canelo's getting these gift decisions in what, his career? All the other fights are gifts too? Or is it just Laura and Trout? And if so, then why are they so skilled that they could beat Canelo so many years ago, but they can't do nothing else? You struggle with Jarrett Hurd? You get battered by Jamal Charlo? You know, like you tell me, like these excuses are so poor. They're so poor. We could never say, oh, Mayweather lost to Castillo. What he did, he rematched him. He didn't look vulnerable again. Like, I don't get it, like, where this comes from, but whatever, man, whatever.
Some would say that the reason why Trout and Laura lost was because they faced those young, hungry lions at 154 and Jamel Charlo, and Jerry Hurd. A lot of those fighters that we want to see Canelo fight, too.
Oh, okay. I mean, we would have to look up what Canelo was doing while Trout was fighting Charlo.
I think
he was fighting Cotto. Oh, okay. Yeah, I think he was probably fighting Cotto, maybe.
Cotto or Liam, somebody like that.
You know, I think Canelo was always doing something bigger. That's just the way it works. He's always doing something bigger, you know. But whatever. Any final thoughts? So we can open up these lines, see what the people think. So that's what mattered to me.
I think Kovalev should quit calling himself the Crusher. I think he needs to come up with a new name, maybe the
Feelings Crush. That's his name.
The Apologist, or
yes.
maybe the something that insinuates him
excuse maker.
Excuse maker, crybaby, whatever you want to call him. But right now, it just doesn't. It's not a good look for Kovalev. You made your money. You accepted the money with everything that came along with it. That's the biggest factor. Like people can say, "Oh, Canelo put him on a rehydration clause and all this stuff." Nigga, he accepted all that shit because he wanted that bag. He felt like, hey, I can beat him anyway, or something like that, or he just felt like the bag was too much. So at the end of the day, man, you gotta. Sometimes you got to take credit for like what you did, and yeah, man, you got beat. And Canelo's gonna go on and fight in defend that 175-pound belt, and hopefully you can try to go and get another title from like Dimitri Bivol or somebody like that. But I doubt you beat him either.
All right, let me check this out. So,
what was the
bro? He fought him in 2016, May 21st. Right? 2016, May 21st. 2016, May 7th, Canelo did a pay-per-view with Amir Khan. So, you're right. That could have been the time right there. Let me see. Canelo had the WBC super middleweight title. What did Jamal have at that time? The IBF only?
Or going for the IBF. Yeah. He had the IBF because he beat Bondrich.
He fought Jamal for Austin for the IBF. So Canelo could have unified.
Nah, he defended the IBF against Austin. He fought.
Yeah. Austin. I'm on Austin's box rec. So he fought Charlo for the IBF. But so here's the thing. He could have unified, but I'll ask you because I know, that's why you're my co-host. I know that you even though sometimes you do try to play devil's advocate, so who knows where you'll go with this today. That being said, what is the bigger fight? What was the bigger fight? 2016, Cinco de Mayo. Was Jamal Charlo gonna give Canelo 600,000, or even go with the secondary 400 and what? 25?
No. I think the bigger fight at the time was the Amir Khan fight, but right after that fight, since both guys fought in May, just going back on revisionist history, I did think that possibly a fight between Jamal and Canelo could have been set up sometime in September. Who did Canelo fight next? Was it Liam Smith next?
It was Liam Smith.
And that's what I'm saying. Like he unified with Liam Smith
and then
WBO. Or did he not? Did he unify with WBO or did he drop the WBC, then fight Liam Smith?
Let me see here. I just want to see Charlo 2016. He fought in December versus Julian Williams. And that's the thing.
Biggest win.
People keep forgetting that. See, people like, Canelo he ducked Charlo, but we the boxing fans, we weren't demanding Charlo Canelo. We were demanding Charlo Julian Williams. We were saying, yo, don't leave. What you talking about? You can't make weight. You got to fight Williams. We wasn't saying that, but boxing fans are fickle. We can't remember. But we've done podcasts all years for the last 10 years. Just as consistent as we've done them now. Obviously, we're more consistent with the 7-day-a-week show now in the last 2 years. But it's documented, man. The boxing fans was calling for Julian Williams, Jamal Charlo. Now, I'm not going front. I can't be a liar. It ain't like Charlo and everybody isn't calling out Canelo. That's their big ticket fight. But in terms of boxing fans, there wasn't this, or I will say the demand for the Canelo-Charlo fight wasn't as equal as the demand for the Charlo-Julian Williams fight.
I would agree.
Excuse me?
I would agree because when I first started watching boxing, a lot of people were saying, Charlo, don't duck Julian Williams before you go to 160. Don't leave without defending against your mandatory and things like that. So I would agree that more people were talking about Charlo fighting Julian Williams at the time than they were talking about a Canelo. But like you said, Charlo then was still calling out Canelo at that time.
Nah, listen. Everybody's calling out Canelo, and Charlo's both definitely were calling out Canelo. But again, my only thing to that is, what was the bigger fight? What was the bigger fight? Was it going to be Charlo? I think that it could have had some potential for success if they would have kept it in Texas, because shortly after that fight, Canelo fought in Texas with Liam and did well. Well. You know what I mean? So he did 325,000 pay-per-views with Liam, and he did like 40,000 tickets with Liam. So the question is, could Charlo have brought in an extra 275,000 pay-per-views to match Amir Khan? Or did Canelo do so well in the Liam Smith fight after the Amir Khan pay-per-view? You got to remember, it was back-to-back pay-per-views, old boy. It was triple play. Then he do Cotto, Khan, and Liam all on pay-per-view.
Then Chavez right after, right?
Holy shit, that was pay-per-view too? Nah, one of these couldn't have been pay-per-view. Maybe the Liam was free.
No. I think Liam was
Liam was definitely pay-per-view. I remember that 325 buy. So was it Cotto? Was Cotto pay-per-view?
No, I believe Cotto might have been free on HBO. I think it might have been free on HBO.
Yeah, because I don't remember no numbers. Even though I feel like that was a 900,000 pay-per-view. No, I don't know.
Possibility, bro. But I just know that Liam Smith, American, and Chavez was for show pay-per-views.
So let me see this theory here. Charlo's 29. So I mean, the boxing fan theory is he's too young for Canelo, but Laura and Trout were, young too. I don't know, man. I don't know. Hard to say he's ducking, man, with this resume. Like, he's ducking, but he fought Gennady twice. Like, he's ducking, but he fought Chavez, and Jacobs now is fighting him. Like, I just don't know, man. It's hard for me, man. I'm a honest boxing fan, I guess that window of opportunity was there in 2016. It was there. He had an entire year to get that fight going with Charlo. But the question remains the same. The economics. Did it make sense?
I mean, honestly, it really don't matter anymore. Those guys are not at 154 anymore. Canelo's not even at 160 anymore, up from the sounds of it. He's going to be fighting at 168, so Jamal Charlo wants that fight. He's going to have to go up to 168 and try to challenge Canelo or get in one of those sanctioned bodies to where he has to fight one of those champions. But at the same time, I mean, yeah, man, it is what it is. Like, they both have their own path. Just a fight that I think the whole boxing public would like to see. And Canelo's, going to keep on doing Canelo kind of things. And like you said, like, I guess this sport of boxing is kind of crazy because sometimes guys got to do something to get a fight. I guess being in position is not good enough.
It's going to be interesting which way he goes now. The walls are starting to close in. Like, if you're a Canelo hater, almost every direction that he turns is a good fight. Like Gennady, Callum Smith, Bivol. I mean, anywhere he turns, who else is there, right? He could always, if he who do you think is more dangerous in his mind? Is Gennady more dangerous or is Charlo more dangerous? Because he could always turn around and be the people's champ and be like, fuck that. I'm the franchise champ. I want to fight the WBC champ. And because, again, and the only reason I'm even thinking of this is because he keeps trying to give Triple G the cold shoulder. So who else do you fight if not Triple G? But it's gotta be a winnable fight to you, That's why they did the Kovalev fight with the concessions that they did. They gonna try to ensure their win. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm looking at. I think maybe Jamal Charlo is a little bit more dangerous because there's that unknown factor with Jamal Charlo.
The youth too, right? The youth, because Golovkin's 37, 38.
Yeah, the youth and the unknown. Like, you've been in the ring 24 rounds with Golovkin already, so you know what to expect. With Jamal Charlo, you maybe not know what to expect. It may take some rounds to kind of fill him out. So I do think that Jamal may be a little bit more dangerous than Gennady right now, and maybe Gennady feels the same way too because Gennady wasn't willing to go fight Jamal Charlo when the WBC mandated. But we got some super chats coming from a lot of people. Starting with Brandon Maurice. This is one of the rare times I agree with Nestor. So he agrees with the Kovalev thing and no dive.
It's just logical, man. Come on, bro. Like, yo, Bob said it better, man. There are easier ways to take a dive. Why take that punishment he took? He could have got out of that fight in the third round, the fourth round, the second round, you know what I mean? And save life on his body. We all know he has a 2-fight deal with Dazn if he lost. So, like, why put yourself through that then? But nah, he took the dive. He wanted to make it believable for you.
One thing, motherfucking Bob said, like, shit, it's easy the way to take a dive. I know. I was like, whoa, what the fuck is going on, bro?
Yeah, of course he know, bro. I'm telling you, my man been promoting since Evel Knievel, bro.
That's
he
crazy.
Been around, man. He been around. Like, how you promote Evel Knievel jumping the Grand Canyon? You know you official, man.
guess people wanted to see that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Hell
I guess
yeah.
back then, I guess it was kind of big. Like, he's got a guy on a bike.
Bro, I'm sure it's big, man. I only see the Grand Canyon like when you flying over, coming in, and it's just like, imagine somebody trying to jump that shit. They bugging.
Nigga, imagine nigga on a bike, nigga looking down, nigga, he come up short. Oh shit.
We got another super chat though. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say it, but I don't want to laugh. But if a nigga could try to jump the Grand Canyon and come up short, come on, man, that's the funny shit right there.
Man, some dangerous shit.
I know it's dangerous. Like, why are you doing that dumb shit? But anyway, Rod 870 says, not fixed, but Kovalev fought with a little aggression.
Yeah, I mean, listen, if you watch the fight, the minute he lets his first right hand go, Canelo counters the shit out of him. You know, you gonna become hesitant, man. You know, yo, if someone is better than you, they can tag the shit out you. Look at what happened to Canelo when he fought Floyd. Floyd was that much better that it didn't matter. He just kept tagging him and not being hit. So, I don't know.
One thing that I did notice in that fight, Canelo kept that mental pressure on Kovalev.
Always.
That necessarily make you feel like something is coming at you, so it makes you throw something. And Canelo was just picking him ass off all night with that left hook. So, man,
it's just crazy to me, man. I mean, look, bro, Yard did what he did, man. That's the obvious, like, reason right there. It's like Yard did what he did. How could Canelo not get a knockout? Come on, guys. Come on. There's levels to this, man. And Yard and Canelo, Canelo's on the penthouse. Yard just moved in the building.
Okay. SG Pass says, if you think it's a dive, don't watch boxing anymore.
Thank you, man. We got some fucking logical boxing fans out here. Not these fucking run-of-the-mill headline seekers, man. That's what I'm talking about. It's the truth, man. Come on. We watch boxing. We know what skill is, man. We know. Yo, we knew Kovalev was vulnerable. Like, let's stop, man. We knew he was vulnerable. We knew it. We knew it. Fucking Mike, poor Mike. Poor Mike lost his whole fucking life savings on Yard. Lines in the camp. He was bigging that shit up for fucking 2 years. 2 years, man. Everybody called in here. Yo, man, I don't know much about Yard, but yo, that young guy, man, you know what lines in it? Everybody roll with Yard. Now all of a sudden it's a dive. You fucking clown faces.
And shout out to my guy Anthony Yard, man. Lines in the camp. Can't wait to see you back in the ring. We got a super chat coming from Rod 870. Canelo did nothing to force him to fight that way.
Okay.
I think we can agree slightly, but I do think Canelo, with that pressure, made Kovalev fatigued and made him do things that he didn't want to necessarily do in the ring. It was a lot of those jabs that were.
Whose accuracy is better, Yard's or Canelo's?
It's not even close, is it?
So then what the fuck, man? So don't you think that these one-offs to the body Canelo was landing was affecting Kovalev? I mean, I swear, I don't know what these people think they watching.
We got a number coming from CJ. Mike, why you let your man get on here looking like Carlos Boozer? Shout out to Carlos Boozer, man. T-Plums 101 says, the issue people having with Canelo is that he never fights people in their prime or even on the even playing field.
Yeah, I mean, Laura and Trout wasn't in their prime, man. I get it. Oh, Mayweather wasn't in his prime either. You know, but now they gonna move the goalposts back and say, but he ain't beat Mayweather. Nah, but he fought him in his prime. You know what I'm saying? He challenges himself, guys. Think about it. His promoter said, no, don't fight that southpaw. Nah, I'm fighting him. But he just beat Cotto. You were supposed to fight him. You could still fight Cotto. Mexican, Puerto Rico. No, I'm fighting Trout. No. Don't fight Mayweather. No. You got to do it at 54. I'm fighting him at that catch weight. No, don't fight Laura. Cuban style is boring. We ain't gonna sell no pay-per-views. It's like fucking Apollo's trainer said. It's all wrong for you. We don't need that. He fought him. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, he's scared. He's scared of Triple G. He ducking Triple G. He gave up his belt. He ducking Triple. He fought him. Like, okay, so Mike, is it that because he doesn't fight him when we want, we got to discredit him? And I can get that. because people will say, well, Ness, the age, right? Like he's fighting guys not in their prime. So how much do we discredit? Because what I don't understand is, if this blueprint is so successful for Canelo to fight all these old guys, right? All these 36-year-old, 40-year-old dudes with a name and become popular and become the face of boxing and sell millions of pay-per-views, well then, why doesn't everybody do it? I mean, Charlo fought a 44-year-old fucking K9 Bundress for his belt. Why he ain't keep fighting more old dudes so he could get popular? Why he didn't move up to fight Kovalev so he could get popular? I don't understand this logic, but all right.
Got to be able to generate that money. Joseph Rodriguez Garcia says at that time, don't forget Heyman and Golden Boy had just split, so they were doing business. They were doing business, period, in 2016. So they
he meant to put weren't doing business.
That's a good point too. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a good point. Because Tim Bradley said the same thing. Like back in the day, like those guys didn't work together. So it's kind of hard to make a fight when you don't work with other promoters. And Alexander Wilson says Mike Tyson versus Bruce Seldon looked like a dive. Seldon got KO by a punch that didn't even land. Go look at the fight, supposedly dive. I seen that clip on Twitter, and that definitely was a dive. Yeah, the punch didn't even touch him, but he started flopping around the ground like he got hit hard. And last but not least, we got one coming from SG Pass. Canelo is boxing art. Let embrace it, not hate it.
You know what, man? I need that fucking Mexican Mexicano, whatever, however they fucking, what's it called? Their national anthem go, bro. We gotta get, yo, Jimmy, get me a little clip, doggy. Give me a little Mexicano, guerra de guerra. I think that's what they say anyway. Yo, let me go out to these callers and sponsors, man. We're gonna open up the phone lines.
Tell the truth.
Listen. That's all you could do is give us your opinion, you know. That's your truth, you know. It's all good. I just choose not to believe the clickbait.
And don't forget, like, the main crux of this episode or this show, did Kovalev take a dive? And that's what we want to know from the people, from the boxing fans, from the spectators. Do you think that Kovalev went out there and took a dive by getting punched in the fucking face and have his ass inside the ropes? Let me know.
Yeah, because, like, bruh, it's like, how many times do we sit here, Mike, and we be like, yo, I'll fight him for $1 million, right? You don't hear boxing fans say that shit? Okay, so what? Are they taking a dive? Or are they for that kind of money, I'm willing to go in there and take an ass whooping? You know what I'm saying? I'm not going in there with the intentions of losing. I'm going in there with the intentions of knowing I'm going to get my ass beat. But the reward is $1 million. If I can win, that's a cherry on top. But it ain't a dive. It's different. I mean, I'm trying to give different metaphors, man, to help people. But I know you could only lead a fucking horse to water.
That was the best one today, because, I mean, at the end of the time, like, if we've all said, hey, I'll fight him for $1 million. Fuck it. He make it. I'll take that shit to fight him. But you got to admit, like, you may get in the ring and it may look like you took a dive. You know what I'm saying? Even though you may go out there and try your fucking hardest, it may look like you took a dive. And for Kovalev, bro, I can't sit there and watch that fight and say that Kovalev took a dive. Now, do I believe Kovalev was 100% going into the ring? No, he looked skinnier. But
wait. Why couldn't he been 100%, Mike? So many times, this is what I'm saying. We boxing fans are fickle. What the fuck do we want? We sit here and beg like, man, I wish Wilder. Man, fuck, man. Why Wilder don't fight 5 times a year, man? I wish he could fight 4 times. Man, give me 3 times a year. Well, this what it looked like. This what the fuck it looked like. Yes, if maybe you the A-side, you could fucking space it out and have a fight in January, have a fight in June, and then finish out in December, but you ain't the A-side. This what it looked like when you try to fight more than twice a year. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Especially on this level. You're not a prospect that could fight in a club room 5 times a year and it's okay. You know what I'm saying? You a big time fighter. You got to get dates. They got to hold venues. It's so much that goes into a big time promotion. Like, you was there. You was there. Look at the scale of that operation, man. Every time we there, we more and more impressed with what Dazn is doing, man. Come on, bruh. Dov? They ain't boxing fan. You're not a boxing fan, man. You're not a boxing fan if that's what you're wishing on your sport.
The only thing I have to say about that is the reason I say I don't think he was 100% because, like you've been on this show many times, if you're able to make the weight, it shouldn't matter what you rehydrate to. And I believe that maybe is what hindered Kovalev in that fight. But like I said earlier in this show, he knew going in from the jump what was in the contract and how much money he was getting paid. And he made a executive decision to take the fight regardless. So once you do that, you gotta motherfucking pay the piper. Just like we gave Floyd Mayweather credit when Canelo was at 152 and it's like he struggled that fight. You know what I'm saying? We gotta give Canelo the same amount of credit because the same kind of thing happened. Went out there and got the stoppage against Kovalev. So yeah, man, I'm here, and it just seems like a lot of people really got issues with Canelo and like his reign as being the face of boxing. But I guess
but all he did was take the torch from Mayweather. See, I've been covering this sport long enough to know that Mayweather wasn't getting the love that he gets now. Come on, bruh. I was on this side of the mic like, man, we don't need no fucking McDonald 2. That shit was 8-4 easy. Even if you get Maidana all the first 5. Floyd still won every single round after 5, bruh. Like, we never needed that. We never asked for that. You know, it's plenty of, we wanted fucking Margarito. We wanted Paul Williams. It's plenty of shit we wanted from Floyd. We wanted Cotto young, motherfucker. You know, not when you fought him. We wanted him when he was in his prime, since people like to use that word with Canelo. You know? Was Baldemir somehow in his fucking prime?
I wanted Pacquiao like 5 years prior, right?
Come on, bro. Nah, Mayweather's great now because he retired, and you gotta compare someone to someone. So that's the bar. He set the bar so high. Now it's like, oh no, man. But bro, all he did was take over as the face of boxing for Mayweather, and because of that, he has to receive the same amount of hate that Mayweather got. Bruh, they called him Chicken Mayweather, Gay Weather. Come on, how many names did they make up for Floyd, bruh? Now they loving him. Now all of a sudden he's great. But he received the same hatred. When he gave us that Robert Guerrero fight, we was like, what? What? How the fuck does he get a pay-per-view? Come on, bruh. Nobody was. When Floyd hit Victor Ortiz with the cheap shot, oh, so that was cool. Now we forget, but that was cool. Oh, cool. But you know, the Floyd radicalists, right? If that's even a word. Nah, man, fuck that. Protect yourself at all times. Fuck that, man. Fuck that, man. Protect yo, that's the rule. Protect yourself at all times, man. Fuck that. Hey, man, get the fuck out of here. He robbed me of a fight party, motherfucker. And so did Ortiz. So did Ortiz because he headbutted. But what I'm saying is, let's stop acting like he was perfect.
Absolutely.
He received the same amount of criticism, same amount of hate. There was videos, dozens, millions. Come on. Scandals. Fucking Kenny Bellis, ain't that his name? Infamous for going at Floyd. Come on. Now, all of a sudden, now he's perfect. Canelo ain't is shit. No, Canelo just took his spot. And when you at the top, everybody got something to say. You at the top. You at the top. Niggas looking at you. You not looking at them. They looking at you. You at the top.
Reminds me of my favorite movie, man. Batman. Well, not my favorite movie, but one of my favorite movies. The Batman, the Dark Knight. You either you die a hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
Absolutely. I remember that. So true and so fitting for this. You right.
At the end of the day, that's what fans are like we appreciate.
And what happened to Floyd, Mike? Oh my God, you're a genius. Say that shit again.
Either you die a hero. or you live long enough to see yourself become a villain. Simple as that.
Pretty boy Floyd wasn't a fucking hero. He wasn't the gold medalist that got robbed. The fucking American, the hope, the dream. And that shit ain't get him nowhere, and he turned into who? Money May, the villain. Oh my God, Mike, you're so smart. Let's go out to these callers, man. Let's let them be a part of the greatness.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
Go ahead, I'm sorry. You was about to say something?
That's right. I was saying, let's ride.
Oh.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
If you're listening right now on YouTube, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button, man. It helps with the visibility of the show. If you want to go one step farther and spend some money on Amazon this holiday season, Thanksgiving and Christmas, go ahead and go over to ThaBoxingvoice.com/affiliate sponsors and click on our own, very own personal Amazon link. Bookmark that link, save that link, and do all your holiday shopping through that link. Thank you so much.
Seattle, Washington, wake up. Good morning.
Mr. PBC, baby. ThaBoxingvoice.com.
I'm the flyest. Canelo talking about he believe he can win. Go to my kitchen. Get the sharpest knife and cut the bullshit out. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great.
Mr. PBC, baby.
Yeah. Fuck it. Yeah, hello?
Good morning, champ. What it do?
I'm on phone. Yeah, this is kind of sad, man. Canelo, last opponent, knew he was gonna lose. You know, cherry picking at his finest. I think Floyd Mayweather showed the blueprint. All you need to do is push the jab, and that's what Kovalev did. He pushed the jab. He didn't even know he was gonna get that far. Canelo was not a true champ. True champ doesn't do weight clause, hydrations, and shit like that, you know. Even though Floyd did it, but this dude's doing it detrimentally and doing it right after someone fought, giving people 6 months or 3 months to train. That's my call, man. It's pretty boring. We already know this.
All right. Yo, I love how, you know, he reminded me of that. You know, they say, Canelo, wait. Canelo, wait. Like Floyd ain't do a catch weight. Floyd ain't do a catch weight with the toughest fight of his career? Nah. I love it, though. I love it. We going out to L.A. CYP.
Oh, my goodness.
Good morning, CYP.
Oh, my goodness.
I know you got something to say.
You know what's funny about this show, man? I'm gonna keep it 100. No matter
90
what y'all say,
seconds.
no matter how long you give your soliloquy and your narrative, it ain't gonna change tomorrow. Like Kovalev simply pointed out everything that we thought. See, that's the difference. Last time Kovalev makes his excuses, he gives new ones after the fight. Everything he said now, we figured that during the fight and before the fight. He just telling y'all boom, 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 but we gonna say no, he a liar because it's Canelo. For one, I heard you just now give Canelo credit for his loss versus Mayweather. But I heard you yesterday telling everybody on this show, especially the UK, that Chirosa he shouldn't get credit for his losses. Oh, we're giving out credit for losses. But today you are giving out credit for losses. That's all people got to do is bring up Canelo and they're going to watch you squirm. That's exactly what you do. And then you talk about Guerrero. Guerrero wasn't mandatory. So what the fuck is the problem with that? See, the problem with mandatories when it comes to Canelo is that depending on who they are, he'll duck them fuckers. See, Floyd, he'll take them on, expected. So one day it's about money and views. Next day it's about catching. Make your mind up, man. And Canelo, lastly, Canelo is not the face of boxing. He's the face of Mexican boxing. AJ is the face of the UK boxing. And Wilder is the face of American boxing as of now. That man is on every Fox commercial from every big sporting event. You see him all the time. Wilder is the new face of boxing because the face of boxing is always the guy who's the best in America. Thank you very much.
Impossible to be the face of boxing and do 325 pay-per-views, man. Chill out, champ. Don't do that to Wilder, man. Let's just let him bubble. We're going to let him bubble. He on a slow build. We got to just stay behind him. Make sure you buy the pay-per-view. Tell your friends to buy the pay-per-view. But let's not get carried away with ourselves.
I will have to say, though, over the last couple of weeks, man, I've been seeing more and more people say what CYP just said, like, Wilder is the face of American boxing. Wilder is our champion. Wilder is our guy that we look to, that we want to see. So I don't know, man. Hopefully this pay-per-view, you know what I'm saying, translate and shows that with Ortiz.
Yeah. That's what we're going to need. I mean, you can't take a position without taking the position. You know? It's easy for me to say that Canelo's the face of boxing because his pay-per-view numbers indicate that. It's easy for me to say that Canelo's the face of boxing because when he went to Dazn, he got a $365 million deal. It's easy for me to say that Canelo's the face of boxing because when he aired on Dazn versus Daniel Jacobs, they reported their first spike in subscriptions. So it's easy for me to say what's facts. Now, it's also easy for me to say that Wilder only did 325. It's also easy for me to say that this is his only second pay-per-view. You know, it's easy for me to say that he's older than Canelo. So how are you the face of boxing again? I'm a little confused. Do we want you to be? Cool. But you got to take that position before you could take that position. It's just that simple.
I really think Fox is going to really help them sell pay-per-views this weekend. I don't know why. I just think by being on...
Listen, I hope so, Mike. I mean, you and I both were here and we put advantageous numbers in the air, right? We were thinking, I said what, 1 million? I think you said 2 million. Like we're Wilder supporters. We want him to do well. But we can't put him in a position that he's not yet.
Yeah, I totally agree, man. Like, if anybody asks me who is the number one face of boxing right now, I would have to say Canelo Alvarez. I mean,
listen, bro. I mean, it's fight week, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, then. You tell me. Where's the fight of rivals? What? It ain't start yet? What time is it gonna be?
And ain't the fight of rivals normally on Tuesdays?
What's today?
Tuesday.
Okay, so what's the problem?
It's Vegas, you know what I'm saying? So it'll probably be later on the day.
Okay.
Hopefully, I mean, if they stick to the script like they did with Sean Porter and Manny Pacquiao and all that kind of shit, then it should happen today. So hopefully they don't deviate or go away from
Fight of rivals are at 2:00, and I want to assume this is Pacific Standard Time.
Yeah, yes, sir. So there'll be 5 hour time. Who knows? Maybe we'll have a little something at that event that we can come back.
Well, our very own Ring Walk Danny, a.k.a. Canelo Swift,
yes.
Daniel Alvarez is going to be covering this fight. He'll tell us how it feels. I'm actually going to text him because he lives in Vegas just to see how it feels. Any banners, any billboards. What's he feel? You know, does he feel this is a big fight week?
I really wish PBC did like a podcast road, you know what I'm saying, so we can fucking see what is going on. Because like, we were able to see what was going on at Canelo's fight week.
Just another comparison in promotion.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. Listen.
A lot of your videos from the Canelo fight week, like the one you were just vlogging and like walking around.
Huge.
Yeah, great.
Huge. Why? Because people want to know.
Yeah, what's going on? Exactly.
Hey, man.
I totally agree that like I'm with CYP. Like I want Wilder, you know what I'm saying, to be the American face of boxing, but at the end of the day, like I'm not gonna sit here and lie to myself and say and ignore the numbers Canelo is putting out consistently. You know what I'm saying?
I wish it was that easy that you could just get all knockouts and be the face, but you can't because people's argument till this day is resume. So Wilder's doing that now, and he's lined up to do that now. So he will take over or can take over.
I'm just trying to figure out, like, I know it's a different era, I know it, but Mike Tyson, you know what I'm saying, he was knocking guys out just like Wilder, you know what I'm saying, very fearsome guy, all that, you know what I'm saying. Some people said that he ain't really didn't fight nobody coming up either, but he was able to, like, make that translate into a superstardom, like, doing big numbers on pay-per-view, getting high guarantees, making all, like, kinds of money, having fucking a pet tiger and all kind of crazy shit. Like, I don't know why the American public has not really like reacted to Wilder in the same way.
Because they need to see that more. And hopefully this has done that. But we talked about it. How difficult was it for us to find the 4-part series, bruh?
Luckily now I've subscribed to that YouTube channel, so that shit comes to my feed now. I watched the thing about it last night when Wilder said he had a traumatic experience in the river when he was a younger child.
Yeah, that was new. See, that was new for me. You know? Too. And look, he had us on that river and he didn't tell us that. So that's what I'm saying. People still need to get to know him. Like, I remember being a kid with my dad watching Evander Holyfield in his Atlanta house, just running in this bit and just being amazed, like, God damn, this dude's house is huge. It looked like a farm. You know, I was a kid living in a building.
So got it now.
So you know what I mean? They let me see that. HBO let me see that. And that's what they need to do with Wilder. He has a fantastic house, huge property with so much land. And they showed us 2 seconds of him running in this forest. And people don't even know that that's his forest unless I told them, because I was there for that scene. You know?
What forest?
When he's running, and he got the backpack.
They didn't cut all that shit down.
Oh. Yeah, but no, that's in front. That's by the elevator that he cut that. I'm talking about.
Oh, okay.
Remember when he went to the forest? It was by, towards the left where the cars and shit was at. But remember the hill with the elevators to the right, towards the driveway and around the back.
You're right.
Because the lake is that way and the mountains was like to the left. He had a shed and everything over there. So, listen, bro. All I'm saying is they need to give us more. You got to understand. Yo, I can't even believe CYP would say that, right? Because, like, how long has Canelo been on television?
He's been on TV for a while, right? Like,
Love More on the Do. I'm going to pull it up. Love More on the Do. Love More on the Do. I seen that on HBO Latino in 2010. That's 9 years of fucking American television. Mind you, Carlos Baldomir, we did get to see that too. We got to see on HBO, we got to see Jose Miguel Cotto. And we was like, oh shit, Canelo got hurt. We seen that on television. So that's fucking 2010, right? I don't think we seen Leonardo Tyner on TV. I don't think we seen that. But Cotto, I know we seen Cotto catch him with that motherfucking shot on the ropes and he buckled. So we talking about 9 years. When the first time we seen Deontay Wilder on TV? What's the first fight? Liakovic, maybe?
I wouldn't know.
I'm out the chat. I'm telling you, he was on Showbox, first of all.
Okay. I thought he was on ESPN first.
Let's see, bro. Let's see.
Friday Night Fights and shit.
Let's see. I've been following for a while, and I don't even know. I think maybe Liakovic. I'm gonna double check.
I think Teddy Evans did call one of Wilder's fights. Absolutely.
So 2013 was Liakovic. That was Fantasy Springs in Indio. That's when he was with Golden Boy. He fought Audley Harrison in UK in 2013. I see Mexico, Los Angeles, Kelvin Price. Oh, that was TV, but that was Showbox. So let's keep going back. Maybe that was the first one. That might have been the first one, Kelvin Price.
I could have sworn he was on the ESPN.
Because look, this one before Price is Damian McCreary, and that was in Costa Mesa. I don't even know where that's at, but it's in America. But I never heard of that place. And then the one before that was in Explosion Hall. I don't even know where that's at. So I mean, none of these dudes were on TV. David Long, Myron Haynes, Jesse, none of these dudes. This says Tuscaloosa, so that was home fight with Owen Beck. You know what I mean? The first fight was Kelvin Price with the blue shorts. He knocked him out. The black dude with the beard. You know what I'm saying? Knocked him out. And then the next one, look, he went to Mexico, so you know that wasn't on TV. Audley Harrison was on TV, but in the UK. Then he went to Showtime for the Fantasy Springs with the Liakovic knockout. No, maybe I'm backwards. I think Liakovic was HBO. Nicolas Furta was Showbox, or maybe both. Malik Scott TV. So Canelo got 3 years on him. 3 years. It's a lot you can do in 3 years. So, all right, he got...
Especially fighting on HBO, which was a machine back in the day.
Back in the day, that was the only machine.
Yeah.
That was the only... So you had an advantage. You had an advantage being on that network, man. There's no denying that, bro. You know, Floyd's career was HBO. He went to Showtime already with the power. I don't know. We're going down the rabbit hole.
That 24/7, man, was like one of the HBO like best shows, and they didn't even intend for it to be. You know what I'm saying?
We got Robert Bonilla, Boomerang. Talk to me. Hey, Rob, man, Robert. Do you want me to just go with Robert? I've always kind of said the whole name, and that's because of the Skype. My eyes automatically read it.
It just rolls off your tongue.
Yeah, in the chat, I'm Bon Boxing, Bonilla Boxing.
All right, Bonilla Boxing, got you.
People just call me Bon or whatever. No, I'm gonna go to the topic. Kovalev, man, he knows he didn't take no dive. He did take a dive against the ropes when he got hit with that right hand. That's the only dive.
Yeah.
Don't give me this. I've been watching boxing too long. Grew up in it. He always got an excuse. You know what I'm saying? Like Canelo pushed him forward, pushed him backwards the whole fight, stood in his face. Kovalev was missing punches. He got caught with counters. He was an older fighter. Okay. So Canelo got hit a few times, but that boy got a chin on him, boy. I'm going to tell you, I've never been a Canelo guy myself. I've always liked what he brings. And when he was young, fighting the people that he fought when he was younger, like Mayweather when he was young, taught him a lot. And you could tell after that fight, Canelo just turned into this beast that nobody wants to stand in there with, man. I mean, I got to give Canelo his due. And you're right, 100%, Ness. When you're on the top, everybody wants to bring you down, and that's what I see here. And then I'm going to go to this topic real quick. I got a few seconds. As far as being the face of boxing, man, I travel all over the place for work. And everybody knows Canelo. Even casuals know who Canelo is.
Minute 30. Bon, we be back to you on your Boomerang.
Got a super chat coming from Rod in 870. What are Canelo's numbers last 3 fights on the zone? With the quiet emoji. I mean, we don't know.
We know that the Jacobs fight brought in 1 million international views, 1 million plus, and 600,000 American views. And we know that the Jacobs fight was the reason for them to come out and say something in it at all. Up until that point, they kept saying they were a private company and they didn't have to release numbers. And that's because they had nothing to show, Mike. But when you got something to show, you show. You know what I'm saying? The Peacock fucking pokes his chest out because he looks good. So get up out of here, man. The hate is real.
Thing that somebody had posted, you know what I'm saying, that I've seen?
What?
Earl Spence and Sean Porter doing their fight week and their fight and their whatever. They did 75,000 Google searches, thousands Google searches. Do you know what Devin Haney and Billy Joe Saunders they did?
Nah.
Over 1 million impressions, my nigga.
Yeah, but we know why. It's a different. Listen, I'm
saying, but just by being on that fucking KSI car, and I understand that it's more youth and things like that, but man, that was shocking to me.
It's an entirely different audience. That's why I said, what did I say? I said Canelo needs to be there, and he didn't.
He going to Saudi Arabia. I'm like, why not have him at both? Why not have all your fighters at the KSI shit? You know what I'm saying? Me going and talking and shit.
Brother, listen, they didn't do the survey for nothing, Mike, and I didn't need them to put out a survey to know. When I seen Radio Raheem's post-fight interview, over 1 million on, doggy, there is no boxing YouTube channel that gets 1 million views in a day.
Interview.
It don't happen. It don't happen.
Even that, my nigga. From a post-fight interview, you got 1 million views, bro? From the loser at that. He wasn't even the winner. You know what I'm saying?
Oh no, KSI won.
I seen the Logan Paul one though. Had over 1 million too.
Damn, that too.
Come on, bro.
And that's what I'm saying. The only time boxing seen numbers like this was when Mayweather and McGregor fought. That me and you and everybody was on top of that shit. Like, yo, look at the God damn, it's only been 10 hours. That shit got 4 million views. Oh my God. I hope these guys stick around. Like, that's all we could wish for, was that these people that came out of nowhere remained boxing fans. And that's all we hoping for with this Dazn shit, man. But it's so many people that got the game fucked up, man. They want to separate us. And it's like, oh, fuck Dazn. Oh, it's all about PBC. It's all about ESPN. Dog, it's all about boxing, B.
It's going to take a boxer like Adrian Broner. And I say Adrian Broner because that's the only person that I can think of in my mind that mingles with, like, the internet celebrities, the Instagrammers, you know what I'm saying? Now, we need somebody that is more skillful and, you know what I'm saying, going to be a better boxer than Adrian to cross over to that YouTube world, that gaming world.
Bruh, Adrian should fight him.
Adrian fight who?
KSI.
Man, come on, Ness.
Bruh, listen, Adrian already be ballooning in weight, and that's how you sell it. It's no different than the Canelo Kovalev, Mike. Like, there's a reason he fought him, and the reason is why I put a rehydration clause. What? What? Ain't Broner retired?
I don't give a fuck what Broner is.
Didn't you just say that he is?
But far as marketing wise, but he can't put.
He
KSI
could carry
in the
him.
ring.
So only Triple G could carry fighters now.
You can't put KSI in the ring. KSI not a fighter.
But it's a gimmick, man.
Nah, man,
this is a ploy to bring in subscribers and for Adrian Broner.
Nah, fuck all that.
And listen, and for Adrian Broner, he's gonna gain massive.
I know the kind of
massive
Adrian
fans.
Broner is though. You put him in the ring with KSI, he's knocking KSI the fuck out on purpose.
No, he won't.
Shit. You got your fuck. He about to break his goddamn
profile
in his
Hey, Champ, won't you name the last time Adrian Broner got a knockout, man?
Name the last time Adrian Broner was in there against a 1-0 novice. And I tell you, he probably got to knock out his first fight.
He's a cruiserweight, man.
Give a damn if he was a heavyweight.
He's a cruiserweight. You seen his team?
Man, you disrespectful.
You seen his team? You seen his team? Badu, Jeff Mayweather.
Team can't fight for you. He is a professional boxer, 5-time world champion. Come on, Ness, man. Come on. But we got a super chat coming from D Great Jr. Compare Showtime Wilder Brazil fight 990K to Canelo 600K US to Mexico Dazn sub. Now look, when you do that, I mean, it's easy to have Showtime because the only thing you gotta do is call your fucking cable company and tell them, hey man, add that channel and unblock it so I can watch it. Now going out and actually searching for an app, downloading the app, signing up,
putting your credit card info. That shit take balls. Some people can't do that.
You know what I'm saying? And then Wilder fight lasted a minute 30, so it could have did better numbers than that if it would have went longer. You know what I'm saying? So
listen, Wilder is destined to be a star, but he needs the exposure, and he's getting it. He's getting it now. He's getting it now. I mean, bruh, when you see Blue Blood doing 400,000 hits on on Wilder responding to a retired football player who wants to box, you know, he's starting to blow, but he's bubbling right now. Let the man bubble. Let him bubble.
One thing about Wilder that I think that I was pleasantly surprised about is when he said, yeah, I do WWE too. I thought about it a long time ago. But
but he ain't do it, man. I'm fucking still pissed off they let Fury do that shit, bro.
Like the fact that he said he still would do it. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't look at Fury.
Yeah, don't rule it out. Yeah, don't rule it out.
Because Fury do it. Nigga, plenty of boxers done did it throughout the history. You know what I'm saying? So I like the fact that he still has an open mind about that. And I think that can draw in a lot.
I just don't get why they ain't go to him. Like, he ain't a better character. Come on, man. When you think of wrestling, he's more intimidating looking. Fury look like a fucking Joe Schmo.
He had that mask on like Kane and shit.
Come on, man. He got the whole like that shit. I ain't understand that, man. But let's get back to these callers.
Hold on. Jonathan Sam says a declined champ went into a fight not expecting to win. Talking about Kovalev here. Losers then admits he believed he had no short no shot, and it's not a dive because we believe there's better ways to take a dive. This same guy who hide in the bushes to beat up a woman. Damn.
So he thinks it was a dive.
He's saying pretty much like what I've been saying. Like, you know what you get into, and even though you know you probably won't go in at peak optimal a performance, then you go in half-hearted, then you possibly knew that you may get stopped or may lose. But that's no different than what you said about I'll fight him for $1 million. You know what I'm saying? As a fan, so it is what it is. Pterodactyl says nothing, just showing some love. Big ups to Pterodactyl. It looks like he's in the UK. And we got one coming back from D. Gray Jr. again. Wilder is the 34 on ESPN world's most famous athlete, while Canelo is 64. Those stats on Twitter are misleading. Impressions don't equate to convergence. I'm a marketing specialist. All right, that's a good point too. That's a damn good point right there. That 34 on the most famous athletes in the world, and I think that probably.
But we did an article on that. It was based off the fact that Wilder has gone viral because of his knockouts. They use Twitter, they used Instagram, they use all the social medias to tally up, and obviously on that show we defended him. He gets viral knockouts, to this day went viral and still is. The Brazil, the Bermain, people making fucking that cartoon I didn't watch, but you watched. They make that out of his fights. Like, you ain't seeing Floyd turning into no cartoon and any highlight reels. You know what I mean? They making those a wild, and that's what I'm saying. He's bubbling. But let's stop acting like fucking last year things weren't different. Let's stop acting like 2018 he wasn't accepting fucking flat fees. Like, yo, it's his time now. Let him blow. But like trying to change the narrative, that's my job. I do that right, man. Stop that. Let me get to some of these callers, man. Who we got? This Edward in Alabama. Talk to me.
What up, Ed?
No? Edward. Stunner. Let's see. Maybe Blog Talk's down like it always is. Stunner, you there?
No, Stunner there.
Yo, you hear me?
We hear you.
What up, Stunner?
Yep.
What's good?
Yo, what's up? All right. Let me just say this. After hearing this Canelo Kovalev news and then listening to y'all discuss it for the last hour, let me just say that y'all have reinforced the very thought and idea that PBC needs to create their own belt. Because I'm gonna use the UFC for an example, right? Y'all remember when Conor McGregor fought Nate Diaz that first time, right? He was the 147 champ. He was getting called out by boy. Then he jumped 2-3 weight classes to go fight him, right?
Bro, I have no clue what you're talking
about. Compare that to Canelo. Nobody was asking him to go fight Kovalev. There was absolutely no buzz. This dude put a did Conor McGregor request that Nate Diaz weigh a certain weight? Did he put a rehydration clause on him? No. This shit's a farce. And then for the last hour, you guys sat here and tried to justify, Canelo doing everything he's done. You guys tried to bring Charlo into it, try to devalue other fighters' names to bring up Canelo. This shit's a joke. So what the PBC really needs to separate from all these dudes that you guys will sit here and go to defense for using rehydration clauses. Separate from these dudes while Canelo handpicks opponents. He just had this suspect fight, and now he's talking about fighting Billy Joe Saunders, coming off a very bad performance. Right? Am I lying?
Let me ask you 2 questions before you cut him off. Now, I've been on this show, and I've been speaking about the rehydration clause numerous times, so I don't even know where that's coming from. But if you're a fighter and you know that's in the contract and you still choose to accept it, whose fault is that, Stunner?
Listen.
Simple question. Whose fault is that?
I understand what you're saying.
Kovalev or Canelo? Was he being greedy by going for
Let
the
me
bag?
ask you something, though. Let me ask you. Let me ask you. You say that Canelo's the face of boxing. You say that he's this good technical boxer. Why would this dude need to use rehydration clauses on anybody? Let me ask you something.
I don't like it, and I don't agree with it. And I've been on here on the show saying it numerous times. I don't know how many times I can say it, but
you do realize under the new PBC model, you will not be allowed to put rehydration clauses on any opponent. You will not be allowed to just jump from any division. You will not be allowed to handpick opponents.
I can't with him, bro. This is second call 2 days in a row with all these facts about this PBC belt when he knows he's just making this up.
I'm waiting for those facts to come out too. Like, you can't. When did this news?
Bro, yesterday he said so much shit that made so many people call in, and we like, bro, all speculation on my man's part. Like, nobody knows nothing about a PBC belt. We don't know how it's going to be ranked. He just came and said, hypothetically, they're going to go and, you only could fight the number one contender. Like, bro, that's your best wish for boxing, and it's mine too, but it don't mean that what you're speaking is fucking fact. Like, he's like, under the PBC model, they're not going to be able to do. Who told you, bro? Like, who told you, really? What article are you reading? Answer that. Let me get an answer. Where'd you read that? Where'd you read it? Where'd you read it? Just tell me where'd you read it. Where'd you read it?
I will send the articles to you.
That's all I want you to do, B. Send that to me, bro. Thank you. We really appreciate that. We will really, really, really appreciate that. Edward in Alabama, going to try you again, champ. What's up? Just working, listening. What's up? All right. We going out to Josh in the New Orleans. Talk to us.
What up, Josh?
Yeah, what up, Mike? Ness, I'm convinced you the fucking shepherd to the Canelo sheep. You're a narrative pusher. You change it up. You bring in arguments to raise Canelo, then put other fighters down, and then you turn around and use these same arguments to big up other fighters. Make up your fucking mind.
Who I put down?
Canelo. Nah, I'm just speaking on multiple shows. I've been here listening to your narrative and how you big up Canelo and then use arguments. I don't want to waste my time on that. You could talk about that after my call is done. Man, Canelo Alvarez, since 155, because he wasn't fighting at 154 because he was fighting at a fucking catchweight, he ducked Demetrius Andrade when he got the WBO belt. Then Andrade got the belt stripped from him. Then he fought Liam Smith for the belt. And all of a sudden, after he dropped his WBC belt, he became interested in fighting for the WBO belt once Andrade was stripped of it. And Liam Smith got it in a vacate. Okay, Canelo Alvarez has always had piss poor judging decisions that favors his way. And the drug dispute with the fucking clenbuterol, all that shit. He's a talented fighter. He's a fighter that only fights certain styles of fight. He can't just get in the ring and fight everybody. You said he challenged himself to be great, but Oscar De La Hoya protects him against certain styles, and that's why he was so against him fighting the Lowry. And we saw what happened in the Lowry fight when he fought.
Cut it.
Boomerang season, champs. Boomerang season. We're going out to Majid in Florida.
What up, Majid?
Still chilling in Ohio. Go home next week. But check this out, man. I feel like that Kovalev shit, that shit wasn't no dive. You know what I'm saying? I feel like they said, Kovalev stayed with those excuses or whatever. You know, and he signed that fight for the bread like anybody would. And it is what it is. You know, like, Ness, I'm with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, niggas need to do what Canelo was doing. Make history, jump, get a belt, do what y'all got to do to put yourself in that conversation. But if they ain't doing that, shit, niggas need to fuck. Like, leave Canelo alone. Let Home Slice get his money. He got about damn near 50 fights in. This nigga just making bread, man. But that's all I got, man. Everybody like the video, and I'm out.
All right. Thanks for calling in. We going out to Steve. Talk to us.
Yeah, hey, what's up, guys?
What up?
Yeah, anybody who knows, no one's going to take a dive in the 11th round. Come on, man. If it was a dive, it would have been round 1 through 3. But I want to talk about something else. Mike, you there, Mike?
Yes, sir. Talk to me.
Hey, I want to take you back to your interview that you did in Vegas on your podcast Row that you had with Kovalev's manager. What did she tell you when you brought up the hydration clause?
I don't want to talk about that.
Okay, but what did she say after that? She said hydration don't mean shit to Kovalev. They weighed in at 175. Go look back at your interview. She told you after she said that.
Bro, what she said, she's gonna say
She
anything
told
she
you
can
after she
to
said
try
that.
to diffuse the situation, bro. She gonna try to make her man looks good. All right.
Hey,
but
they weighed in at 175.
If it didn't matter, then why have it in there, then, Steve?
The next day, he has it in there for safety, Mike. The guy's moving up 2 weight divisions.
For safety.
The guy's he's going up 2 weight divisions. Give the man some credit. You want to sit here and talk about this hydration clause?
Because
no hydration clause don't mean
it's
shit.
It's a big factor, bro.
The hydration clause don't mean a damn thing.
That's your
he weighed in.
Are you a fighter?
The morning
Are you a fighter? Are you a fighter?
Hey, the morning of the
Steve, that's your minute. That's your minute 30, Steve. But come on, Mike, don't use that shit because you know we hate.
Now I'm asking, if Steve is not a fighter, how would he know how rehydration affects his body in a fight?
But Mike,
I've heard boxers tell me that it does. So for him to tell me that it's different, come on, man, please go ahead.
I'm just saying that I think that's unfair to say, is he a fighter? Because when you interviewing a fighter and they ask you, oh, have you ever been in the ring? That completely means your opinion doesn't mean shit because you ain't fought. So now that means he ain't fought and been through a rehydration, so his opinion don't mean shit. And I think that's unfair. I think that's just unfair.
His opinion don't mean shit, but for him to say
by saying you aren't a fighter and haven't been through it.
Quick, we are on the radio, so I'm trying to make a quick point the fastest way I can. And by saying are you a fighter? The simple thing that I was doing, he's never been able to rehydrate or not. That's it. I couldn't do it no faster way. Sorry, I wasn't trying to diminish his perspective or point of view. I was just trying to get through the car.
No, and again, I'm not insinuating that that's what you're trying to do. I'm just simply stating that fighters use that as a a way of just ignoring what anyone else has to say, and I don't think that's I don't think it's the right thing. Everyone's opinion is valid, is all I'm saying.
Everyone's opinion is not valid, but everyone deserves the chance to express their opinion. I do agree with you on that.
I mean, look, and I can't front and say that if you've been through it, your opinion doesn't hold more validity, but at the same time, it also shouldn't devalue anyone else's, is all I'm trying to say. Let me see, what's this? Looks like maybe Noah's new number. Let's find out.
What up, Noah?
Not sure. Hold up. Definitely Noah. Noah, what up?
What's good with it, man? What's good with the function?
Chill.
It's a lot I want to touch on. First and foremost, Kovalev. Look, first and foremost, Mike, what you said, what Nessa said about you asking people about fighting, which is true because a lot of people do that when you be like, oh, they're just trying to degrade your opinion or they're trying to denigrate what you're trying to say. But at the same time, bro, I don't give a fuck what nobody say, dude. When I was fighting just at PAL Boxing, right? And I used to have to make 140. We're talking about a 9-year-old at this point, 10-year-old, right? Bruh, I'm coming in that bitch 155, 160 almost, bro. That's then. That's then, 153, 154. You're putting on 10, 11 pounds. You're putting on 10, 11 pounds, bro. That's just drinking water. That's just drinking and eating all night long, for the next day. That's it. And same day weigh-ins would be those are hell. Those are hell on. You can ask anybody. In tournaments where you have same days, you weigh in and you go as kids. You show up that day, you weigh in and you go.
Them is hell if you're trying to binge, trying to fight down to your level. So I understand what Ness is saying, but that's the truth. That dude don't know what the fuck he talking about. Everybody's opinion is not valid. 2, we all know what this was, bro. I said it yesterday. We all know what this was. This was a cash grab by Kovalev. Because we hear fighters talking about all the time, oh, that's not enough time to prepare. He went right after.
Cut it. Definitely boomerang season in this bitch. If you want to get that boomerang, go ahead and head over to patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice and sign up for one of them boomerangs so you can give your opinion 2 times.
Brandon Maurice, talk to me.
What up, B? You was on the dryer, my nigga. What's going on, Brandon?
Can y'all hear me, bro?
Close the window. He got the window open.
No, the window's up. You can hear the truck that loud?
Go for it. Just go for it, man. Your clock ticking.
Got you picking a trash.
Oh, no. I pretty much agree with everything you said as far as the Canelo shit. I just want to cook on this face of boxing shit. I was on the cruise in Jamaica one time on the excursion in a fucking taxi with some white people. We get to talking and shit, and they let me know they was from the UK. It's like an 80-year-old white couple. So I'm like, yeah, I know a little bit about UK. I watch a lot of UK boxing. The first thing they said was, you never heard of Anthony Joshua? I'm like, of course. Same thing when I was with a Mexican homie of mine. I was over there watching boxing with him, and this nigga grandma don't watch boxing, but she knew who the fuck Canelo was. To be the face of boxing, that means motherfuckers who don't watch boxing have to know your name and your face without ever watching the sport, right? There's nobody in the USA that holds that cachet to where 80-year-old motherfuckers know who they are who don't watch boxing. When the Floyd was popping, I had white motherfuckers at my job who don't watch boxing, who knew who the fuck Floyd was because they hated him. Sugar Ray Leonard, Muhammad Ali, Mike Tyson was popping, man, motherfucker.
Cut it.
This gonna be one of them long shows.
Super chat coming from Joe Ariga. If it affects, why does the IBF have that rule?
Oh my God, I've been wanting to read that super chat. You're brilliant, Joe. You're brilliant. IBF been doing that for years. Earl is a cheater. He's a cheater because he chose to fight for the IBF, and every one of his opponents got to weigh in the next day with a rehydration clause, Mike. Earl a cheater. He a cheater. That's what you're saying. That's what you're saying. You're saying Canelo's a cheater because he put a rehydration clause.
Yeah, he put it in the contract. He asked for it.
All right.
If you're a fighter, you choose to go down the IBF sanctioned bodies. That's your choice.
All right. But, I mean, why it ain't a big deal when IBF fighters fight? When Caleb Plant fight, why it ain't a big deal?
Because he chose that path.
And so did Kovalev.
And that's what I've been saying all morning.
And I need you to keep saying it because they don't hear you. Kovalev chose to go down that route, man. He wanted that smoke.
But at the same time, if the WBO don't have that rule, Canelo shouldn't even have asked for it. Now, if it was an IBF rule, I totally understand it.
But I like what what's his name, Steve said, bruh. He's a smaller man going up. He trying to ensure some safety.
Boys, though.
Hey.
Wilder out here giving up 40 pounds every fight.
Hey, yo, Floyd out here making you fight in certain gloves so when you punch him, it don't hurt.
Nah, shit.
No, I'm just saying, like nobody wants to call a spade a spade. Motherfucking Vitaly Klitschko out here putting carpet.
I definitely don't like that, but I never was around for like Floyd.
Hey, well, I'm telling you, man, Vitaly had carpet under his motherfucking ring. Fury like, I ain't fighting. We not fighting. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Everybody tries to do the A-side shit. Cotto cried about it until he became A-side and did the same shit to Canelo and fucking Sergio Martinez. Let's stop it. Again, boxing fans are fickle, so they can't remember that. We're going to go out to the UK.
Health is different, though. Health is different, though. Like,
health?
Picking gloves is cool, you know what I'm saying?
Oh, it is cool.
I mean, I'm not saying it's cool, but
that ain't part of health. That ain't part of health. If I got some gloves that could do more damage, that ain't that's a health and a safety reason. And same for saying,
true.
you know what? Same for saying to that fighter, you know what? Those gloves are known to hurt. Use these pillows. Use these pillows, champ. Oh, you want to fight me? You want this payday? You want this payday? You want to be on the other side of May? You want this fight to be called Mayday? Well, then you come and you do everything I say. Let's stop it. Like Floyd didn't invent this shit. Let's stop. Like you and I don't tell fighters every day on this show, Floyd gave you the blueprint. Now Canelo's following the blueprint. Yeah, they hating him. They want to throw tomatoes at him. Well, you're mad. You're mad. And the same thing Floyd said. He laughing all the way to the bank. That's why he came with a ski mask to the ring. But it's okay for Floyd. Why? Because he's telling you right in your face what he's doing. When Canelo just following the blueprint and ain't doing it like Floyd, he ain't coming in the ring with a mask on. He ain't telling you how much of a sham this shit is. It somehow ain't the same. All right. I mean, it's the same, man. He following the blueprint, man. He following the blueprint. Until someone can prove differently, he following the blueprint.
One more from D-Lo Boxing 404. He stated that as a fact, not an opinion, and he's referring to Noah. About the fighting when he was 10 years old and had to rehydrate.
Yeah.
Next day, he would be like 153 or 150 whatever.
Yeah, definitely, because he went through it. So, that's what I'm saying. So, again, like what you said, it holds weight. Like, if you ain't been through it, you can't really talk. But then it also undermines, like, tons of people's opinion. But whatever, we going out to Lids Low the Ringer. Talk to us.
What up, Decatur?
What's that? Hey, my trunk ain't making too much noise, is it?
Nah, you good.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, hey, one, shout out to everybody, man. Hey, shout out to Baldy for making me a ringer. I guess I'm gonna start with the Canelo shit. I'm just gonna let people think that shit was a goddamn flake if they want to. I don't, you know what I'm saying? It's like you can't change people's minds. Some people are, like you say, next fickle, and some people are 100, man. So I just let them people beat. But the real shit is, that wasn't no goddamn throne match, man. I don't give a damn what nobody say. That's just my opinion about it. Shit, what else y'all got? Oh, another thing, Ness, man. When you be comparing Money and Canelo, you were doing just fine in the beginning, just defending Canelo. Because when you start throwing money in there, then motherfucker get sidetracked and they want to talk about other shit. Shawty, you did good. Canelo is cool. He just needs to still fight Charlo and goddamn Andrade if he gonna come back down to that weight. But other than that shit, I'm good with everything, man.
Well, all right, Decatur, Georgia, man. Thanks for calling in. Georgia, I wonder if you gonna be at the fight, right? I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, he's going to Tank fight. I'm sure if Tank is in Atlanta.
I gotta support, man. I hate when people say I'm PBC, bruh. With all the DAZN, I'm telling you to buy DAZN through our link. You know what I'm saying? I equally support the sport as a whole. You kidding me? I talk about the Adorno brothers and Shakur and Valdez. Like, man, people crazy, man. They crazy for real, bro. I'm boxing. I ain't one entity at all, man. Shit, wasn't I on 2 podcast rows with DAZN? I ain't seen a podcast row yet with PBC.
I'm waiting on it, man. I'm excited when it happened too. So
shit.
Hopefully they get the ball rolling on that shit. I know y'all listening right now.
Yeah, man. All right, so we got looks like the UK, right? Yes, it is. No, it's T Plums up first. Talk to me in Florida.
What up, T Plums? Talk to me, man.
Hey, can you come to me right up?
All right.
But y'all niggas got all the background.
But they at work. They at work, man. I respect everybody. Shout out to all the blue collars out there listening to the podcast, man. I knew what it was when I was on the day job. I needed something to listen to, and I'm just happy that you guys chose us to listen to. We will continue to try and bring you a daily show multiple times a day, man. Again, use our Patreon community page to recommend topics. Make life easier. Don't be a guy that just is upset at every single topic and title. Recommend what should be discussed and watch your fellow boxing community tell you if it's worthy. I just want to talk boxing, man. Listen, we was on Patreon last night at I think we finished that show at 11:54. That was almost midnight, okay? So patreon.com/ThaBoxingVoice Untitled was litty. like a fat girl's titty. I'm telling you, go check it out. But we going out to the UK. Talk to me.
Sing along if you know the words. Come on.
To this day, y'all. What's going on, people?
Yo,
What up? Good afternoon to you out there in the UK.
Yeah, all right. I just want to touch on one point you raised, Ness, when you were talking about how Fury was on WWE and Wilder needs to do WWE. I think that you're right with the point that Wilder actually, I feel like Wilder naturally suits WWE more. But again, this is what we've been saying for a time. The promotion of Wilder has been terrible. That's the honest truth. He hasn't been promoted properly. I mean, look at what Fury did. They've only brought him to America, and they've done better promotion for him than what's been done for Wilder. And the fact of the matter is, Wilder had to use AJ. I know you people don't like to admit it or you don't think it's true, but anyone looking at the whole thing objectively, Wilder used AJ to literally promote himself.
So is Crawford or Earl Spence using one another, or is that just a natural fight that drives the people, brother?
I'm saying the promoters, they run an engine behind Tyson Fury. They haven't been able to do that for Crawford, but they're definitely doing it for Tyson Fury because Tyson Fury also has a character that promotes himself. Wilder has a good character that is able to promote himself, but the promotional people behind him, you have to blame them for the fact that Wilder is still not a name in America.
Well, no need to hit you with the cut it as you finished, and that is your time. Listen, your argument has flaws in it because, again, the comparison to Crawford, Earl Spence, public is demanding that fight. Neither man is using each other's name. That's just the logical fight in that division. Just like the heavyweight division. That's the logical fight and was the logical fight. Wilder versus AJ. It's not that Wilder needed AJ's name. It was the logical fight. One man has 4 belts, the other has 1. It was the logical fight. I mean, you're thinking too much. You just, you're trying too hard. It's just the logical fight. Boxing, from the beginning of it, has always told us the champions need to unify. So, yeah, logical fight. We're going on to that one white boy in Texas. Talk to me.
What up, John?
What up, TVB? Good morning, guys. Good morning, Ness. Good morning, Mike.
Morning.
Hey, there's way too many people watching this podcast and not near enough likes, man. These guys giving us content that we want daily, especially for us 9-to-5ers. I'm one of those guys. I enjoy the show wholeheartedly, man. You guys bring all the good stuff. It's the voice of the people. The bigger they are, the bigger your voice is. So get the lights up, subscribe, go to Patreon, and support these guys, man. They're out here doing a big thing for us out here, for real. Thanks, guys. I'm out.
John, man, appreciate the kind words, brother. We going out to Pat in Boston. Talk to me.
What up, Pat in Beantown?
Yo.
Yo.
Y'all hear me all right?
Yep.
All right, word. Well, first of all, Kovalev didn't take a dive. He got KO'd viciously. I don't know how people are running with that one, but honestly, and I was saying that it's a good fight, but the problem with it was Canelo just sets it up because he is the face of boxing. He gets to set everything up to where he wants it and what makes it the best chance for him to win. So I honestly think Kovalev would have won that fight and been able to keep his tank till the end of the fight, because I had him up on the cards, and I think he could have won that fight if he was given a full camp, enough time, maybe not a rehydration clause. But I just think it's bullshit that Canelo gets to make all the calls and gets all the decisions against Gennady twice, against Laura, It's just that he wouldn't be as big of a star if he didn't get those that help that he gets because he is the cash cow and the face of the sport. We need to make Deontay Wilder the face of the sport. All you need to say is 41 fights, 39 KOs, and he pretty much KO'd Fury too. Peace, guys.
All right. Thanks for calling in, Pat in Boston. Hey, Pat, man, we are putting together Border Wars in February. If you're interested, Saturday we'll definitely have a full-blown show. We have a lot of signed and sealed fights. We'll be having the return of Border Wars' unified champion, Marvin the Tank Furman from Arlington or Irving, Texas, one of the two. So, yeah. Let's see. What else do we have here? T Plums, you ready?
Yeah, I'm good. What's good, fellas?
Chilling. Good morning.
All right, so Ness, you know I rocks with you, but you got to get this work today.
Give it to me, B.
No homo. CYP then came in and he really put a whole bunch of holes in your argument about how sometimes wins on losses matter, sometimes they don't, and whatnot. But
wait. So let me pause the clock on that, because you know what? He did say that, and I never got to address that, right? So I never said Canelo's loss matters, but people are saying he never fights the people that are a challenge. Wasn't Mayweather a challenge? He fought him.
Right.
I'm not giving him credit because he lost. I'm giving him credit for fighting the challenge.
All right, but let me reiterate what I said in my super chat. I said he don't fight prime fighters. Now Floyd wasn't in his prime when he fought Canelo. He was still good, but he wasn't in his prime. And that not prime Mayweather beat him. Now you said prime Laura and Trout. Those two are two fights that everybody thinks Canelo really lost, and he didn't go back to redeem that because he got the win. And then when you factor that in with the judge, with the biased judging for Canelo, the obvious rig in judging for Canelo, and then him popping dirty, and then the WBC comes right after and makes a rule excusing that type of stuff. It's always been a push to get Canelo out there, and that's just, you can't ignore that type of stuff to say that, oh yeah, Canelo's just doing this all on his own merit. They're literally carrying him and making a carriage for Canelo to get by any means necessary. With all those factors, you can't ignore that. And as far as the Kovalev part, I don't care about Kovalev. Screw him. He lost. I don't care. I never want to see him again. But, you know, the truth about Canelo is he's getting every advantage there is, not just by him, but by every single possible faction. So you can't ignore that.
I mean, so was Floyd.
But Floyd never popped, as far as we know.
Oh,
and he never got no.
So the mysterious IV after the Pacquiao or before the Pacquiao fight, like you ain't hear about that, huh? All of a sudden, you ain't know. No, Ness, I never heard that, Ness.
It's proven that he popped, though. That's what I'm saying. And then a month or so later, WBC, not a month, but less than a year later, WBC comes out and makes a rule saying, "Oh yeah, if they got this amount in the system, it don't matter no more." Like, you can't ignore that type of stuff.
Don't say that. Don't say that, because that's not what happened. That is not how it happened. See, you guys really need to educate yourselves. WBC did not come out a year later and make a rule and say, oh, it's okay. No. WBC adapted what WADA is already and has already been doing. WADA, who USADA uses, who VADA uses, who everyone uses. WBC did not just create a rule. Man, bro, you guys be just making shit up on the fly. And they say I make up shit. Listen, whenever I say some bullshit, bank it on some fire cookies or Gorilla Glue. But like, bro, I receive all the press releases from all the publicists, all the promoters, especially the WBC. I could literally pull that shit up. Like, no, they didn't create a rule. They adapted what WADA is already doing. Listen, WADA conducts those studies and makes those guidelines. You know, they can continue to choose not to follow WADA's protocol and recommended ratio, right? They can choose to do that. But then they're going to continue to have these cases. WADA conducted those studies and decided that that's what they were going to use. Go find out how long Wilder's been using it, you know? Do your research. Don't just say crazy stuff like that. Davidian, talk to me.
Hey, yo, what's up, Ness? What's up, Mike? Yeah, good show as always. Yeah, as y'all know, before the Canelo Alvarez versus Sergey Kovalev, I was one of the rare ones that picked Sergey Kovalev. I don't know what I was thinking, but you know, Canelo, he did his thing. I'm not gonna say nothing bad about him. He could fight, you know, so. I just can't wait to see his next fight. Who he fights next? Maybe Billy Joe Saunders. Maybe somebody else. Yeah. I'm not. Now I'm a fan of Canelo. I want to see him. You know, I don't know. I want to see him fight one of the young guns or something. But yeah, I ate my crow. That shit was nasty, but yeah, Canelo, he can fight though. Cinnamon can fight, so I can't say nothing bad. But that's my call. Y'all have a blessed one.
Thanks for your call, Davidian.
So here it goes right here. Let me see. Maybe if I can screen share this. Hold on. Let me take another
we got
call.
a super chat coming from SG Pass. This is boxing, not basketball. 3 deaths this year. 1 black, 1 Russian, 1 Puerto Rican. Rig, get the fuck out of here. Safety first. What you trying to screen share that memo that the WBC sent out?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but fucking shit don't let me airdrop it, bro. I'm gonna have to read it. But it's on their newsletter. Like I said, you know. It's crazy. Someone tell me what these other sanctioning bodies are doing. Mike, you've been watching the sport 3 years, you said, 4 years, whatever. What have you seen these other sanctioning bodies do? Go ahead, tell me.
I've seen the IBF, you know what I'm saying, be consistent with the mandatories, you know what I'm saying, making champions fight. The guy who comes up that sanctioning body. WBA, I've seen those guys consistently make more belts. WBO, I consistently see guys that I don't even know why the fuck they are in the rankings get title shots. WBC, I've seen the clean boxing program adapted. I've seen the weight thing, like you got to be 10% of your fighting weight like the next day or something like that. I think that goes into effect 2020. They're going to be adapting a code of conduct policy 2020. I've seen the WBC cares, the WBC give back, whatever that shit is, to the adaptive boxing community. Yeah, man. I've seen the IBO.
What exactly is adaptive boxing?
It's like a wheelchair boxing program that the WBC does for people who still want to compete and things like that. Now, I'm sure the WBA and the IBF and WBO have their charities, but I'm not that, you know what I'm saying, well.
What? They're not doing a good enough job making you aware of it?
Yeah, but sometimes like.
No different than DAZN and PBC and the complaints that we have about promotion. It's not your fault that whatever they're doing isn't it.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio.
Damn, we know how to talk. Holy shit.
But like when you look at it, like I can't say that the WBC is like a kind of American kind of based belt. And the WBA, IBF, those belts are like overseas.
You couldn't be more wrong from the truth, bro. WBC is a Mexican-based belt.
I'm not saying I know it's Mexican based, but it has a lot of North American influence around the belt. WBO is like a pan-Asian, like New Zealand area kind of belt. You know what I'm saying? And the WBA is like a Russian, German kind of belt. IBF is,
let me tell you what's going on, champ. Gilberto Mendoza sounds like a Puerto Rican name to me. And you know that we met Paco, and he's more Puerto Rican than you and I. So, all that North Asian, nah, champ. Nah, that's the same thing the IBO president did. You link yourself with whoever giving you money. A business can't grow without money. So if you got Asians willing to give you some money so you can fucking make their fights more valid, you gonna be known as that belt. But that ain't where you from.
If that background is giving you money, wouldn't you tend to think that that background would have some of those charities that you are doing? And since I'm not paying
And influence. And
I'm not German and I'm not Russian, I wouldn't necessarily know what the fuck is going on over there in Asia or whatever that they are doing. But I am American and I do know about the WBC because it is kind of like even though it's a Mexican, you know what I'm saying, that's where it's headquarters, but we all see that as like the American kind of belt too, you know what I'm saying? At least I do, maybe. Now I don't speak for everybody, but I do, at least.
I was able to screen. I was able to
Muhammad
airdrop
Ali
it.
on a motherfucker. What's more American than Muhammad Ali?
Bruh, hey, instead of disrespecting, show respect. That's the problem. Like, it's not an American belt, but that's how prestigious it is. That America has basically adopted it, and you think it belongs here. It got Muhammad Ali on it. It also got Jose Suleiman.
That's like the founder, right?
Yeah.
And you got a black Muhammad Ali. That says how much respect they have for Muhammad Ali and the things that he did. So that's why I kind of feel like it's a you know what I'm saying, American. But I understand it has more Mexican heritage than anything. Super chats right quick from Goober and the Sherm. Canelo made Trout do the chicken dance. Jonathan Wilderberg or Wilderding or whatever. I don't know, man. Jonathan, I'm sorry, bro. I'm bad with names and I've been smoking. Canelo lost his first fight with GGG.
Yeah, man. Mayweather lost to Castillo.
That's what they say.
You know? And then which one? And they say that the Canelo lost to Trout? Well, Mayweather lost to Maidana the first one, even though I just told you he beat him 8-4. But that's why he rematched him, because people thought he beat, right? Come on, man. Come on, man. And look, Mayweather's retired now. Don't nobody say that. Them narratives that they used to say, they don't say them no more. People don't talk about him losing to Castillo or Maidana. They don't talk about that craziness.
What's the narrative that they used to say?
That he lost to Castillo.
What? Yeah, Mayweather.
What? Did he got dropped? Did he got dropped? Did the glove? They said the glove hit the floor.
They was talking down on Mayweather too.
What?
Get out of here, Nez. Nah,
brother.
They ain't saying Mayweather.
The biggest. You want to know what's the biggest narrative outside of him not wanting to fight Margarito? The biggest narrative. Okay, not just him not wanting to fight Margarito, but also not wanting to fight Paul Williams, the tall welterweight, the freakishly tall welterweight that Canelo signed up to fight in his motherfucking prime. But unfortunately, Paul Williams suffered a tragic accident and is paralyzed from the waist down and in a wheelchair. Like my co-host Mike.
Don't get it twisted.
But don't get it twisted. My man signed up to fight a prime Paul Williams that Mayweather was not trying to fight ever. That Paul Williams was out there. Paul Williams was out there saying he don't want to fight me.
But I understand in this, but I wouldn't say it was a prime Paul Williams because I remember a fight that
with him and Laura
recommended me to. And Sergio Martinez put that man to bed.
Oh, so one loss means you ain't in your prime.
I'm not saying one loss ain't in your prime. I'm not saying that at all. But nigga, you been knocked out already. Sleep.
So Pacquiao wasn't sleep, and everybody was clamoring for that fight, and it did what? 4 to 5 million pay-per-views? Come on, Mike.
It was shocking to me, bro. It was shocking.
Yo, blowing holes
Paul
in
Williams
weak
Pacquiao,
theories.
Though. Paul Williams ain't Pacquiao.
Bro, bottom line, Paul ain't get his shot.
Yeah,
Paul fought the dude Mayweather ain't want to fight, and that was Margarito with hand wraps. Cause we ain't gonna act like he decided to throw hand wraps on when he fought Mosley. We ain't gonna act like that. We seen Cotto face. We ain't gonna act like that. We ain't gonna act like that. We ain't gonna act like we wasn't seeing him rip niggas' ears off on ESPN. We ain't gonna act like Paul ain't fight that man with wraps and still beat his ass. We ain't gonna act like that. Give Paul his shot. Give Paul his shot. Okay, let's stop. But I got the clenbuterol shit pulled up right here, and we just gonna go straight to the facts. And it says right here on June 1st, the W antibody, whatever, You see, I've been screen sharing it forever. But right under there it says WADA list.
Man, we live in a sick ass world, bro.
Wow, what happened?
I just seen a little fucking news report. Nigga, nearly 400 children rescued and 348 adults arrested in Canada. In
Canada?
In Canadian child pornography bust. Among those arrested were 40 school teachers, 9 doctors and nurses, 6 law enforcement personnel, 9 pastors and priests, and 3 foster parents. Fucking world is fucking sick, bro.
That's crazy. But I'm even more shocked to hear it happened in Canada, right? Like I thought Canada was known for like no crazy. I mean, I know everywhere has stuff, but I'm just saying, wow. So where is the stuff I wanted to show you? Boom, boom, boom. So it says effective on June 1st, 2019, the World Anti-Doping Agency, WADA, established a new threshold in relation with the detection of clenbuterol. WADA's new standard intends to ensure that the results management entities address resolve positive anti-doping tests emanating from the consumption of contaminated meat products in a fair manner for the athlete. So again, this is WADA. So they adapted WADA, which it's pretty much what everyone does, right? Like all the banned substance lists are from WADA, and then, VADA has their own, but all those lists are the same. So, yeah, man. But there's shit more, I think, here. It says the levels of clenbuterol and related substances found in the WBC CBP, which is the World Boxing Council Clean Boxing Program, cases to date, e.g. Canelo Alvarez, Francisco Vargas, Luis Nery, have been significantly lower than the new WADA standard. Even before the new WADA standard, the WBC has consistently tested those cases accordingly. Thus, after an extensive investigation, the WBC did not penalize the affected athletes. So, again, they did not create a rule. They adapted, unless I'm reading it wrong. Mike, you think I'm reading it wrong? Because I could be reading it wrong.
No. I read
Not everyone's comprehension is good, so maybe I'm reading it wrong.
I read the exact same thing you read when I looked at the article from Boxing Scene. It wasn't like the WBC went out of their way, but they adapted what everybody else were adapting. So, and that's what.
So, Mike, right? let me just throw a metaphor out there, right? Throw a metaphor. So, you and I was just in Vegas. And I think you recommended like, oh, I want to get something. Oh, Enrique wanted to get something to take, right? And then you brought up like, nah, you good. Because in Vegas now they let you travel with an ounce.
Yeah, you can travel through the airport with some weed, yeah.
Okay.
But
so
when you get home, it's on you.
All right. So exactly. So, but Vegas has that rule. You know what I'm saying? WBC is just adapting. They just going with this new rule. That's it. Vegas or Denver, whoever popped off first, they are the originators. WADA's been doing it way before WBC. WBC is only trying to come in and further help boxing, which they have. Since they created the clean boxing program, haven't people been popping?
Yes, sir.
I don't know. I mean, why we got to make them out to be this evil entity? Like, no one is perfect. Just like Bob isn't perfect and Eddie isn't perfect. Nothing is perfect, man. Everything has flaws. But, to make it this villain is ridiculous when I think they do a significant amount of good.
Real quick, if you are in California, Vegas, Nevada, or Colorado, and you're traveling in those airports to one of those airports, you can have weed and you carry on, I believe.
That's it, man. That's it. We got Edward in Alabama.
You back, Ed? What's up, man? God damn, went to you 3 times.
Oh no, maybe.
Yeah, like man, y'all need to
Nah,
quit coming to me.
nah, that's not. CYP Boomerang.
What up, CYP? I know you got something to say. Been cooking for a while now.
Hell yeah. Y'all got to let me cook, man. I do my research. Y'all got to give respect to the research. Now, we sit here and we talk about how big somebody is, what their numbers and pay-per-views are. That's what makes them a star in boxing, blah, 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 blah. Well, in the 90s, I recall the face of boxing being Roy Jones Jr., not Mike Tyson, because Mike Tyson was in jail half of the 90s, but Roy Jones Jr. But Oscar De La Hoya was doing way bigger pay-per-view numbers. Almost every single one of his fights was pay-per-view. But you can argue that all you want to, that it was Roy Jones, Oscar De La Hoya. But Roy Jones had high-class knockouts, and his highlights was ridiculous. While Oscar De La Hoya was fighting guys that we never heard of, like Rules, Hernandez, Gonzalez, all on pay-per-view. And 7 of his 9 pay-per-views in the 90s were against Mexican dudes. Now, I'm going to ask you this crazy question. How the hell could Oscar De La Hoya versus Mosley do 500-something pay-per-views while him versus Vargas do 935,000? That's almost double. Vargas had never done a pay-per-view before. But for some reason, that Mexican fan base boosted it from 500 from Mosley for the #1 WBC, 3 belts, and a lineal. That did 500. But versus Vargas, who already been knocked out by Trinidad, that did damn near 1 million. And you telling me that the Mexican fan base is not the most important, most ridiculous fan base in boxing? Chavez Jr. did 1 million with Canelo. They hold weight in boxing. That's why we allow them to get away with this bullshit, because they make money. Roy Jones Jr. was a bigger star, in my opinion, than Oscar De La Hoya was, but he wasn't doing those kind of numbers. It happens because he doesn't have a country behind him. I told y'all many a time, in America, we have too many sports, too many great athletes. We don't just circle around 2 or 3 sports. It be like that. You have to accept those facts, or you can just
Cut it.
I gave you an extra 30 seconds, but that's just excuses, man. America is the biggest country, bro. If you can't be a star in America, you ain't a star, man. To blame it on him having Mexican background and all that, like, they still have to be Mexican American to buy the pay-per-view. They still have to be over here, champ. Like, that don't even make sense. Like, they got to be over here. So what are you saying? I'm Mike. Is there any logic in that? Like, don't they gotta be here? Like, so what? You're from Mexico. How does that help if they have to be here to buy the pay-per-view?
Man, at the end of the day, bro, I just look at the dollars. You know what I'm saying? I'm not. I understand CYP's point of view and perspective, but the facts still remain the same. Like, there is one guy who is getting paid $33 million a fight, who does big-time gates, who does big-time pay-per-views, and is pretty much can get any fight that he wants at any time.
Checkmate boxing.
I guess I missed the show. I just, realized you guys was on, just got in. But I guess I got to say I told you so. When it comes to the fixes in. I told you he threw the fight. You guys didn't want to believe it. he said it himself. He had all the incentive in the world to lose. He's not chasing history. He doesn't care. He's already got knockouts and loss. He was chasing that bag. And on top of that bag, he also included, if he lost, it included a couple of more fights on the zones with nice paydays. He had all the incentive to lose. So I didn't hear your response, anything about what you said, but what was your response to that, Ness? Did you say, oh, wow, or like, do you believe it?
Of course I don't believe that ridiculousness.
So the man tells you himself and you don't believe it.
What did he tell us, Checkmate? Please elaborate.
He said he knew he couldn't win anyway, and he wasn't going to win.
Okay.
He did it for
so
money.
Let me ask you something, Checkmate. If I give you an opportunity to fight Floyd, do you think you're gonna win?
Do I think I'm going to win? That you're not. See, come on, you're a strong
exactly.
man. We're not
exactly.
talking about me.
Exactly.
I'm not a boxer. We're talking.
2,
come on, that
1.
Why you brother?
Come on, champ. Like, why y'all keep doing this, man? Why y'all keep doing this? He fought the pound for pound #1. He knew he wasn't going to win, just like Luis Ortiz. He going to fight Wilder. He know he ain't going to win. They could hope to win. They know it's an uphill battle, just like we know, just like the betting lines. So the betting lines knew the fix was in too, huh, Mike? Them motherfuckers is geniuses in the betting. They knew the fix was in too. Man, y'all terrible, bro. But it's all good. I get it, man. I lived through the Mayweather era. I lived through the Oscar era. You know, I got to be with my dad and see some of the Tyson era. So I see how fickle boxing fans are. Like, y'all, bro, look, like, that's what I said to Mike. We was in Vegas and we was going to our room, you know, thank you all you listeners in this podcast for that. You know, we were in Vegas. We were staying at MGM with all the fighters, and we go into our room and we see a mob of people. A mob of people. And I'm like, yo, who's that? I whip out the cam and shit. I'm like, oh shit. And it's Evander. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Like, people going crazy over Evander. But I remember a time when people were talking so much shit about Evander, you know, and they thought he was a PED user, you know? Like, bruh, they hate you now, love you later, back to hate you now, man. It is what it is, man. Boxing fans are fickle, man. They jump on the next wave, and that's exactly what's happening. When Mayweather went from HBO to Showtime, he had the record biggest contract, you know, $250 million, I think 6 fights or 4 fights, something crazy, you know, but his round off was like 33 or 32 point something mil, you know. Yo, Canelo did that tenfold. He getting a whole 3 point something more than that, almost 4 million more than. Like, let's just respect the game like we respected it when Floyd did it. We respected it when he did it. Like, why is there so much hatred in boxing? It's ridiculous to me. Crazy, bro. Super chat from Ohio Runs Boxing says, I can't call in and the Skype isn't working. Skype is working, champ. You might be just trying to dial straight in the Skype. I don't know, but you could definitely try Skype again. But I guess not, because we out. That was my final thought rant, Mike. That was my final thought rant.
Yeah, my final thought is, man, I really don't care. Man, Kovalev, be honest with you, man. Be entirely honest, I really don't really care. But follow me on IG at Gross1911 or on Twitter at Gross2312, or you can follow me on YouTube at Mike on Sports and check me out today for NFL or NBA show.
Peace.